Okay, we're here at the Cleveland Asian Festival. It's rare to see this guy still not moving. It's John Cosma, of course, and you know, Jeff, I should preface, you're Sifu, John Cosma. Now, what is Sifu? S-I-F-U. What is that?
It's basically like teacher. You know, someone who's sort of been recognized by their teachers as, okay, now you can go out and, you know, represent the art, the style, and the legacy that's come before, and kind of help like the next generation, as it were, be able to get as much as they can out of the art as possible.
Okay, now it's an art, it's a martial art. What specifically do you practice and teach?
I practice what's considered Neijia Chuan, which is internal boxing, internal fists. So there's three major ones: Baguazhang, Xingyi Chuan, Taiji Chuan. Taiji being Tai Chi, doesn't necessarily mean Chi is an energy. Taiji means like the grand ultimate. So it's like bringing you back up from the mundane sort of world up to, you know, the thing that was at the beginning of creation.
You know, when I see your routine, you use a variety of swords and spears and implements, and also, you know, we think of maybe Tai Chi's as meditative, relaxing, all, but this is a martial art. This was started and grounded in self-defense and warfare and martial stuff, right?
Yeah, for internals, it needs to have all those sides to it. So for internal martial arts, you have to have the martial quality as well as the meditative and the energetic, and like that sort of mindful. And mindfulness, not just sort of like modern pop mindful where it's like, oh, you're feeling messed up and kind of color or something. No, this is, you are fully in the moment of right now. All your attention is into this moment right here. So if you have like the meditation and the energy work and that sort of spiritual work in with it, and it doesn't have the martial principles, it's basically just Qigong, which means energy work. So a lot of people who are doing Tai Chi are kind of like, oh, just relax and feel the flow sort of thing. A lot of times that's not even Qigong, because they're not practicing correct breath, correct posture. They're not doing any of the stuff that it would be to actually get the full sort of spectrum of benefits of it. Some people want to move and things like that. Obviously this is wonderful, you have to, because the body's mostly water, and if water stagnates it becomes dis-eased. So moving and having that practice is wonderful. If you want to sit there and start calling it Qigong or Tai Chi or Xingyi or Bagua, there is these other things that have to be in it in order to be correct. That being said too, if someone is just like, oh, I'm doing Tai Chi, and they're like doing some other martial art but slow, this isn't Tai Chi either, because that has specific principles to it. 8 energies, 5 steppings, a breathing method, the posture has to be a certain way. So in order to definitively be like an internal martial art, there has to be a lot of stuff in it. And you can have focus, you can kind of lean one way or the other, but in order to be correct, you have to have all of it, which is why it takes a little bit longer, and sometimes is discouraging to some people because they're not sort of like being expert at it, you know, within 6 months, and then it's like, oh, then what's the point? So there's sustained effort. Kung Fu means a skill developed over time.
Okay.
So there's like a Kung Fu here with it that takes a while to unlearn what you've learned, learn it, and then make it part of your habit, and then keep that refinement process going as you continue throughout the years.
So how long have you been practicing and working on this?
It'll be 26 years this August.
You know, if someone sees you for the first time, I don't know if they appreciate, I've seen you many times, and I appreciate it more each time because
thank you.
You're not fighting anyone. You know, people are used to nowadays it's MMA and, you know, WWE. You know, you're not fighting anyone, but I see the muscles bulging and I see the sweat pouring out and the athleticism there and all that. That's taken years to get to that point. You're not just going through the motions.
No, and I had a couple friends, like one of the best feedback I should say I got from when I had to do tournaments was like, okay, out of everyone we saw, it looked like you'd be the one that I'd be worried about.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's cool because it's not just, okay, just this void sort of movement of going through. It's, yeah, there's the relaxation and the thing, but there's an intent behind it. So there has to have that in it. So, but also, when you're playing the routines, you can't have the face like this and like that has to be removed out of it, because that's then part of the meditation part of it, that's part of the relaxation part of it, and then as you go on, that's kind of like the sometimes more woo-woo spiritual stuff out of it too. So it's being able to have it where it looks nice and it looks like it could do something as well.
Yeah.
Instead of just, it either looks kind of dancey or it looks like some dude throwing a gym punching someone in the face on the ground.
You know, it's always fun as someone in the audience when suddenly you'll throw down a spear, you'll stomp your foot or something. You see the whole audience jump. It's like, okay, now we're not messing around here. So John, if people want to either learn from you or see your performances and all, where can they go?
Well, performances, I'm pretty much at all these festivals. Lunar New Year, CAF, since almost the beginning. Sometimes Autumn Moon festivals, or whenever people in the OCA like, hey, we need someone to go fill some time. Do you want to come? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I teach. One of the places I teach is where I work, which is Stella Luna Counseling and Wellness in Middleburg Heights. I also teach through Sifu John Irvin's network of schools at the Shaolin Kung Fu Institute in Sagamore Hills. And I have a class on Mondays at the Rocky River Fitworks.
All right, so we're talking today with Sifu John Cosma, a guy you don't want to mess with, but you do want to learn from and watch. You can learn a lot and enjoy the practice of martial arts. So thanks, John, and
Thank you.
we'll look forward to your next performance.
I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
All right.